Evening, everyone. This is Steve. Going to be doing a book review for you tonight. This is going to be the first book review I've done probably in at least a month, give or take. Before we go ahead and jump into that book review, again, thank you for joining me tonight. And if you are a subscriber to my channel, I do appreciate that very much. And if you are not a subscriber, I do encourage you to subscribe, of course. The subscribe button is this little bell icon down here below the right-hand portion of the screen. If you click on that, you will be alerted to any time that I put new videos out onto my channel, and therefore you'll be able to go over and watch those. And if you do like this video, please leave me a thumbs up, and if you did not, leave me a thumbs down by all means. Let me know what you did like about it or what you did not like about it, and I'll see about improving that as well as other content to some of my videos in the future. Of course, I can't seem to please everybody, so there is that. All right. Hoping everyone is well. Today is the 26th of April, 2020, and hopefully this whole COVID-19 thing is going to blow over here in the next couple weeks, even though they say that more is like headed our way, but I don't want to talk about that. So let's go ahead and move forward with the book review there. I don't want to discourage or get anybody wild up over the pandemic situation. So tonight's book review is going to be Book of the Witch Moon, Chaos, Vampiric and Luciferian Sorcery, the Choronzon edition by Michael W. Ford. Alright, Book of the Witch Moon, Chaos, Vampiric, and Luciferian Sorcery was first published in 1999 with an introduction by Peter J. Carroll, and it's published by Succubus Publishing in 2006. The Choronzon edition was thus published, and the book contains over 455 pages. Now, you might be wondering what makes the Choronzon edition different from the other version to Book of the Witch Moon. And I'm going to go ahead and quote from page 4 of the book here really quick. The Choronzon edition of the Book of the Witch Moon is dedicated to Hecate and Choronzon. As with Hecate, the inspiration behind this grimoire, the goddess of the triple moon, of youth, of wisdom, and of darkness, she who resides in the north, whose masks are many, Lilith, Diana, Az, and those daughters as well. Who shall meet thee in the crossroads. Blessed is her terrible name, she who blesses and curses with a glance. O mother of the bleeding moon, O bride of chaos and darkness born, may the pages of this book reveal thy lunar splendor when shadows envelop and open your eyes through her call. May you seek her in the night when the veiled dream opens and the hunger is awakened. Hecate, Hecate. This is, of course, a book on left-hand path witchcraft and adversarial sorcery, and is the very foundation, contains the very foundation of Luciferian Gnosis from a modern perspective and practice. Okay, this is a blending here in this book of the ritual chaos of vampirism and predatory spirituality. All right, so yes, this book contains a good information on adding vampirism and even lycanthropy, which is actually discussed in another chapter to your current practices. Thus, if you're a Luciferian or you're a left-hand path chaos magician, you can definitely add vampirism to your practice, and it's very, 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 very simple. It's discussed here. Okay, let me go ahead and continue on with this review here. The grimoire is written upon the author's initiatory discovery of the spirit of predatory spiritualism and Luciferian sorcery, and this book actually predates Ford's book Luciferian Witchcraft. I think he has 2 books on Luciferian Witchcraft, if I'm not mistaken. One is Beginning Luciferian Magic, and then he has another book, Luciferian Witchcraft. Book of the Witch Moon started it all for Michael W. Ford, more or less. Not only is the Choronzon edition dedicated to Hecate and Choronzon, Ford has also expanded the book to include material from his books Liber Apep and Liber, excuse me if I pronounce this word wrong, Liber Nehebka, Nehebkau. I'm sorry if I butchered that word, folks. Please don't hate me for that. Okay. Anyways, those are 2 books based on vampirism, vampiric sorcery as well, that Ford has written. I don't believe that Amazon.com has those, but if you do go to Michael W. Ford's website, Luciferia Apotheca, he does sell those particular books there, if I'm not mistaken. But to continue on, those books are also contain the beginning of vampiric sorcery from a Luciferian standpoint, and the material presented to the reader is to bring a gray area of myth into reality and the arena of possibility, thus becoming flush for the will of the sorcerer. Okay, Book of the Witch Moon is partly a personal account of the author and partly map, and it does point towards the dark essence of the Qlippoth in its lore. Take note that you'll be dealing with demonic entities here, and not demonic in a sense of good or evil by a Christian standpoint, but simply demonic as in a neutral spirit of intelligence or elementals which hold their own godlike association. Okay. The book does offer a system also based on the witches' sabbats, as well as Sethanic and Luciferian Witchcraft, and the Koskai cultus. Additional topics also include yoga, Kabbalistic lore, chaos, and Sethian witchcraft. Okay. The book does start the reader off with a primer into vampirism and lycanthropy and the dead, followed by discussions on witchcraft and the Luciferian path, along with principles of Luciferianism, as well as rituals for the Sabbaths, solstices, and the equinoxes. Later in the book, Chapter 4, you are thus introduced into Satanic lycanthropy and the rituals of the Red Temple. Here, don't think of lycanthropy simply as being only associated with wolves or werewolves. The beginning rites in this section do have an actual significance in finding one's individual animal atavism. Okay, lying dormant in our brains is an animal power suitable for atavistic exploration, regardless of the creature that lies within, whether that be a wolf or tiger, eagle, fox, whatever seems to take form or shape from you performing the rituals. You are encouraged to find which one suits your own needs and desires. The most important thing in magic, of course, is to learn not only about yourself, but yourself through honesty, of course, as well. Chapter 5 discusses the vampiric arts and the rites of Choronzon. And here, predatory spiritualism is learned and applied for the reader, okay? In terms of vampirism, each individual is the foundation of self-deification and alone as a god or goddess. Okay, so one might be asking, what does it mean to be a god or goddess in your own right? It simply means that the individual is directly responsible for his or her own destiny, life, and self-development. Okay, vampirism is trying to find my note there. Vampirism is a encircling of energy and the symbolic or literal consumption of it. Okay, so we're really not talking about sanguine vampirism here, folks. We're talking more along the lines of energy vampirism. As a Luciferian, there is no worship of anything outside of the self, but rather take on associations to symbolism to a varying degree. For the Luciferian, they may want more life, more power, and more consciousness. The blending of Luciferian and the vampiric thus achieves this by the process of transmutation. This section also discusses rituals on the 9 angles. Okay, and finally, chapter 6 of the book is all about chaos sorcery and Luciferian magic, as well as rites of the Qlippoth. Okay. Oh, I did very, very much enjoy reading the book. As some of you know, I did do a Luciferian banishing ritual out of this book a couple weeks ago for my channel. I did do it twice. I did it once based on how the book described it, as well as, and then I made a slight variation in the second recording. I still personally like the second version, where you do the Kabbalistic cross first and then go around the room doing the banishing, as opposed to the way that the actual rite describes in the book. I am probably going to be trying to perform some of the rituals out of this book. I may end up recording some of those. I definitely still want to do more rituals out of this book, though. But in my opinion regarding this book, and this of course is my opinion, if it were up to me, I would keep this with me till like the end of my days. Okay, there's no doubt about it. This has been such a wonderful and valuable read to me, almost as much as probably more so actually than some of the books that I read by Asimov Mason. But this book really seems to touch a part of me, particularly on the aspect of vampirism, and how you can actually utilize that for your ritual means, as far as tapping into that energy source and using it to complete ritual work with it. I think another person who did a pretty good idea or a pretty good understanding on how energy vampirism works is Stephanie Connolly. And she discusses a little bit of that in her book, The Demonologist's Guide to Daemonic Magic. So that's also a very interesting read. But I would, again, if I were to lose all my worldly possessions and I had just like one bag to carry like all my worldly possessions around in, this book would be in that bag. Okay, I would not part ways with this at all. So again, just my opinion. And if I'm not mistaken, there's an author, Enoch Patricelli. He does author the Black Witch, a grimoire of the demonic tongue, which is available on Amazon.com, as well as through BecomeALivingGod.com. He speaks. I don't know if he does the Choronzon edition himself, but I know that he does speak about this being one of the Book of the Witch Moon is actually probably like one of his first books he talks about picking up when he started his left hand path practice many years ago. To me, it's definitely a book that you might want to look into if you're new to the left hand path and you really want something with a little bit of flair, a little more, I guess, uniqueness to it. This was probably the book that I would pick up. Okay, there are definitely other very good books out there as well. Draconian Magic by Asenath Mason's one that comes to mind. A couple books from other books from Become a Living God, E.A. Coetting, Bill Duvendeck, other books by Michael W. Ford, if not this particular one. A lot of the ones that he has on his website are, I would definitely look into. But this is probably my more favorite one of Michael W. Ford. So with that, folks, I'm just going to go ahead and call this book review done at this point. If you are interested in Book of the Witch Moon, the Choronzon edition, it is available through Amazon.com. Not certain about the cost. I want to say it was like around $25. Might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less, but right around that point. Again, check it out if it interests you, and if not, then no harm, no foul. All right. So take care of that, folks. And with that, I bid you a very fond farewell this evening. Take care, peace, and infernal blessings.